most people, when they start a business, they want to provide a product or a service. They have the best product or they create the best widget. And so they're passionate about that and they want to make a business. They'll do that. And at some point in the future, they want to sell that business because business ownership usually isn't a forever thing. And so selling the business to somebody else at some point is almost inevitable. And at the very beginning, you should identify what your end goal is, when you're going to do it. Pick a date when you want to do it. And so five or 10 years ago, you started a business and now you're saying, okay, I think I've done what I need to do. I think it's time for me to sell it. Well, if you talk to a business broker about that, there's a few things that bring value to business. And it's not necessarily the things that people think about when they first start their business. When you start your business, you're the main person in the business, perhaps the only person in the business. And so you're doing everything. And so what you really own there is you own a job. If your business is home inspections and you are the home inspector, then you can be very busy doing home inspections and every day doing those home inspections, bringing in good revenue. And 5 years later say, okay, I think it's time for me to move on and I want to sell it. But what you have then is a job that you're selling, because anybody who says, yes, I want to buy that book of business that you have in place, really all you have is somebody else who already has to be a certified home inspector come in and start inspecting the homes that you were inspecting. Same thing if you're a plumber. If all you're doing is doing the plumbing work yourself, when it comes time to sell it, the only people who are going to be able to buy it is another plumber who wants to come in and do the plumbing work themselves. So to make a business that's truly valuable, to make it so that revenue that you're generating is not just the annual revenue for the new owner because they're doing that job, but actually is worth more because a new owner maybe doesn't have to come in and do the job, is build the business so that it works without you. In order to make a business work without you, if you're a plumber, you have to step away from actually doing the plumbing jobs. And that may be difficult because you started the business because you're excited about plumbing. You like doing plumbing. You enjoy that work. If you're an electrician, you like fixing the problems. You're a problem solver, and people come to you with problems and you help them out and you're the hero. Okay. I've had some of those heroes help me out in the past, and they did a great job. But ultimately, your business was just that. What you have to do is you have to extricate yourself from the business so that you have somebody else that is going out to solve those problems. You have people who work for you, teams that work for you. You have marketing that happens without you tracking it every day, so that you have leads that are automatically coming into your business every day without you taking extra work to make sure those leads happen. You have people who are following up on those leads, people who are consistently providing the goods or services that you offer without you. By the time you have that, if you have a, like I used the example before, you have a cell phone job that makes $100,000 a year, how much are you going to sell it for? No more than $100,000. However, if you have a business that is working without you that has a profit of $100,000, how much is that worth? It's worth a lot more than $100,000. It's worth a multiplier of that, and that multiplier depends on a lot of things. Depends on what industry you're in, because there's some industry differences there. It depends on how involved you have to be. Do you have to go in daily, maybe for an hour? Okay, the multiplier may not be as high. Maybe weekly. Okay, call in on a weekly team meeting. That's a pretty good ownership level there. Maybe the ownership level is that your general manager has so much So the aptitude of running the business so well that the owner can say, you know, I'm going to go to Aruba for 6 months and I'll call you when I get back. Okay, that's a business where that value multiplier, say it's $100,000 a year, that's probably worth 10 times that when it comes time to sell it. You know, so that business would be worth $1 million. And if your revenue is $1 million a year, or your profit is $1 million a year, maybe the business is worth $10 million then. So the main thing you want to look to when you're adding value to your business, yes, profit, yes, revenue, but that multiplier at the end is once you get to the time to sell it, how much do you multiply that revenue and that profit by? And that's a function of how much or how little the owner has to be involved in the business. Don't sell a job, sell a business that works without you.